Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
As we know, as women are scaling these businesses and forming businesses, many times faster than their male counterparts, they're not able to receive the same funds. We're often the first to get denied when we apply for funding.
This is the Brown Way to Money podcast, where women of color in business find their financial independence. But welcome back, sis, to another episode. And today I'm recording a full circle moment episode. Yes, you have heard the episode with Latasha when we went over on those, let's call it secrets, but it was more an insider view on how you should apply for a grant and how you should approach these opportunities that are so essential for women of color to develop their businesses. And today I have both Latasha as the program manager of this opportunity, but also the person that has been awarded this last cohort, Irene, with us. And I just want to have this conversation so that you, that is in the other side listening to us, can understand what the real process looks like and what you should consider next time when this opportunity opens, in particular, to submit in your application. So welcome both to the Brown Way to Money podcast. It's my pleasure to have you here. And I'm just going to dive into with the questions. So Latasha, tell us a little bit. Last we spoke, we talked about certain specific things that makes Fund Her Future different than the other grants out there. And we talked about that, why it makes a difference, why the perspective that you as a program manager has for this program, right? We talk about that on that episode. Now, I want to know what attracted you to the application of Irene, and what were you looking for that was fulfilled?
That is a really good question, and thanks for having us back again. And so when I think about this year's Fund Our Future grant, I'd love to share that, we had over 8,000 applicants. So when you think about the achievement it is to be selected amongst that many people, you've done something right. And honestly, for us, that was a 30% increase over the number of people we had apply last year. So we were really excited. One thing I can share with you is amongst all of our recipients this year, there was kind of this one common thread. We call it the powerful mission that really united them. They really were launching businesses or trying to scale businesses that serve and uplift their communities. So it wasn't just about what can I do and make for my business, but how can I give back? How can I help others? And it didn't matter if they were helping people in their neighborhood or around the globe. And so when I think specifically about Irene, when we looked at her application, when we reviewed her interview and things like that, she was able to share that her business was built on a deeply personal mission. And it was to honor her mother as well as share a family remedy for eczema, a condition that many of us deal with. So she had a really personal reason for doing this. But some of the things that set her apart is the impact she's making beyond just that business. She was able to share with us that her every purchase supports women in Ghana who actually help produce her shea butter, and that additionally helps to fund access to menstrual products for school-age girls, allowing them to stay in school, because many of us don't realize they may have to miss school when they go through something that we experience every month because they don't have the same access to the things that they need. So those are some of the things that really made her stand out, is that it wasn't just about what she was doing for her business, but, she started it for a personal reason, sharing a family remedy for eczema and then helping people, young school-age girls all the way in Ghana. How amazing is that?
Wow. Yeah, I can see why, right, Irene? So let's go to you, Irene, a little bit on what was the process for you to put this application together? Because it's not an easy thing to do, to transmit on a limited amount of characters all of the impact that you are having. So how was that process for you?
Sure. So I make ethically sourced shea butter products, lotions, body butters, oils, and scrubs, all natural, all vegan. And all of our shea butter is from Ghana, West Africa, where I'm from, part of my heritage. I think for me, I just sat down and I try to be really authentic with everything that I have done in this business, from early conception to my mission, why I've started it, who I'm who basically sees me as an individual and who can relate to everything that I'm doing. So to kind of get all that stuff down in the application, that was challenging, definitely, because I wanted to make sure that every part was told, but there's only a limited amount of characters. But I think for me, it was really important just to tell my story, because your story is your superpower, and just really show up and tell people about myself, tell them about my journey, about my mom, about my mission, about my country of Ghana, where I'm originally from. So just trying to make sure that it was relatable to people and everything was clear and it was understood in the writing. So I think for me, it just took a long time to just process all of my answers so that it was compelling and it would make somebody want to continue reading, but still show up and be authentic.
Wow. Okay. So you mentioned a long time. How much time did you invested on this application prior to submission?
Well, it took me probably about a week. I would do a little bit, come back, do a little bit, come back. But within a week, I got it all done. And I was constantly revising my answers just because there's only a limited amount of characters. And I'm a person that kind of talks a little bit too much, writes a little bit too much. So I had to find a way to kind of niche it all together and make it shorter. So I would say about a week. And in terms of the amount of hours, I think I would say if I spent about 2 hours a day, that would be the amount that I spent. So 2 times 7, about 14 hours, just how much editing I had to do to make sure that I was saying everything that I needed to say.
I want to touch on something that Latasha said. You mentioned, Latasha, that her mission was the thing that grabs the first attention. Irene, how do you put together that mission? Because as a business owners, we know we are living that mission, right? We know what we're doing. We know the motivation behind it. How do you actually pack it and tell others that are reviewing your application, this is what I do and why I believe you should take part of this project?
I think for me, it's important to have a connection with like the land and the people that are making the product. And obviously shea butter has been made for centuries, and it's important for people to understand the hands and the work that goes into it. Obviously, in northern Ghana, it's very different from the rest of Ghana, just in terms of the climate and opportunities. And because shea butter is a major opportunity for these women to earn wages, you think about the effect it has on their families. They're constantly working. And taking something like school, some of these women are not able to go to school and they have children. And the fact that there are more schools that are open now, and the fact that, not having access to menstrual products is a huge, huge problem in a lot of places of the world. And unfortunately in Ghana, the cost is very high. So many people can't even afford menstrual products. And I saw it when I was there. So I really connected with that. Someone who, was a teacher for a long time, working with kids, having my own kids, understanding the need as a woman, of course, as well, understanding the need and the need that basically no one's talking about. So I wanted to ensure that this business has a mission. This business was made in memory of my mom, but I also wanted to give back. And giving back means giving back to the women that are making the products and their families and their futures. So it was really dear to me. And I just wanted to make sure that people kind of knew exactly what we're doing. We're not just selling shea butter. We're here with a social mission, with a cause that's going to impact people for all of their days.
I love it. What do you think, Latasha, how you see the future and the vision in a long term, 5 years, 10 years from now for Irene and for everybody that has gone through the program now?
Here at H&R Block and our Block Advisors brand, which is our small business brand, we're really serious about our commitment to helping women business owners. We recognize that women founders are the backbone of not just the economy, but their individual communities. They're, hiring people from their neighborhood. They're, creating jobs. They're starting businesses that are going to be set up for, future growth. And we want to do what we can to support that. So I think one of the things that we're most excited about is that we're not just saying, hey, we're going to give you additional money, because money is definitely needed. As we know, as women are scaling these businesses and forming businesses, many times faster than their male counterparts, they're not able to receive the same funds. We're often the first to get denied when we apply for funding. So we know that the funding is important, but I think the critical piece is the access to services and our expertise. So beyond just writing a check to Irene, we're going to have that instant access to services like our bookkeeping, our payroll, business formation, where we can look and see, is your business set up in the most advantageous way for you and for your future? So those are things that are going to help her not just come in at tax time ready, but ready to make business decisions that will use the tax strategies that we give her to improve her cash flow, to see her begin to hire and onboard staff. Like, as she can scale her business, that's really the future of what we see for it, is to say, we didn't just give you a one-time deposit. We're making kind of a lifetime deposit for your business, because we're going to not just hand you the money. We're going to hold your hand. We're going to give you those consultations where she can ask questions. We can give her the guidance she needs. And like I said, she's going to have that access to the bookkeeping, payroll, and like I said, just that expertise that she may need. And I think business formation is one that's really critical. Many of us, when we start our businesses, I'm the same way. I'm a business owner too. We start our businesses out of something that we're passionate about, but we really don't know what it's going to happen next. Sometimes you don't even know how successful it's going to be. So you say, I'm just going to do this one thing. And then as you begin to scale, you realize, I need to form an LLC. I should take that S Corp election so that I can save on taxes. So those are the things we want to be able to do for Irene, as well as the other grant recipients and any other women business owners that are out there.
Now, the same question goes for you, Irene. How do you see this partnership that you guys have formed now in 3 years from now or 5 years from now?
Well, I'm just excited because I feel like it's so important to have the right financial team to assist. So bookkeeping, obviously want to onboard and hire, and just knowing that I have the support of H&R Block, that means a lot, because there's so many questions you have as a business owner and you don't always have the answers. So relying on the experts to assist and help. And just like Latasha said, in terms of LLC versus S Corp, my business is structured a certain way right now, but I would love to just talk and engage and ask questions, because you don't know something, you got to ask. And there's a lot of learning to be had. And I think that with their assistance, definitely can grow and scale. And just having the right advisors and people around that want to support, see you win, not necessarily with only the financial donation, but also in terms of business sense and all the different options that they're providing in terms of payroll, bookkeeping, and everything else. I think it's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to the partnership. Truly excited.
Now, I want to do something. There are two things that we do here at the podcast. One is that you guys are going to leave one question for the next guest. We don't know who it is, but they will answer that question to you guys. And second is that I'm going to read one question that the last guest gave. So I'm going to read it. You two are going to answer individually. The question from our last guest was, if you could be anything today that you are not, what would you choose to be? Whoever wants to start, go ahead.
I'll jump in first. So I'll share with you, my dream job when I was younger was I wanted to grow up and be a runway model. And if I could still fulfill that dream, I absolutely would. My mom was able to get me into like modeling at a young age. And I did like some catalog modeling, probably showing my age because we ordered from catalogs back then. We didn't go online and purchase clothes and things like that. But what happened was I got we thought I was getting tall, but by the 6th grade, I didn't get any taller. So I didn't get tall enough to do runway modeling. But of course, times have changed now. They accept all heights, sizes, and shapes. So if I had that opportunity, I would absolutely love to. I love being on stage. I love being in front of the camera. So I think I'd take advantage of it if I could.
I love it. I love this. Maybe we will see in 5 years from now. Okay, Irene, what about you?
Think for me, I would do any job which it allowed me to travel to multiple countries. So like literally every week I'd be going somewhere else. So whatever that job would be, whether it would be like a designer or just a world traveler, a chef, something where I could definitely travel. I just want to see everything and everywhere. So, and meet lots of people. So anything that would require me to travel to lots of countries, I'd be super excited by.
Love it. So Irene, can you please tell us who you are, your business, and where we can find you?
Sure. So I'm Irene. I'm the founder of That Good Good Shea, where we make ethically sourced shea butter products, lotions, body butters, oils, and scrubs, all natural, all vegan. And all of our shea butter is from Ghana, West Africa, where I'm from, part of my heritage. We believe in African rituals, and we believe in celebrating every skin story. You can find us online at thatgoodgoodshea.com, also on Amazon.com, and also on Nordstrom.com.
Amazing.
We are super excited, like I said, to have seen the growth in the number of applicants year over year. It just lets us know that we're in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time.
Absolutely. And I truly believe, and this is what we stand for, that only good things happens when women, especially women of color, have more money on their hands. And that's why I love this program. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you in the next round when you guys have more grantees. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next episode. Okay. Did you hear something that you liked in today's episode? If so, don't keep it to yourself. Go ahead right now. Yes, right now. Before this episode ends, and send this episode to those 3 friends, 3 girlfriends that you know you can go to talk about finance, independence, money, business growth, entrepreneur life, and all of these juicy topics. Share this episode with them because that is the only way we can grow together. I'm Alejandra Rojas, your host, and I will see you next week.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.